Why is Alice still meta even after her recent rework? Some players are saying she's not good anymore, but as a solo ranked player, I totally disagree. Alice is still amazing, especially in the late game. With a strong tank build, you can pull off epic comebacks and turn those losing matches into wins. Sure, you'll lose some games. Hey, that's solo rank life. But your wins will outshine your losses once you master her. And if you've been watching the MPL, you've probably noticed that Alice has become a familiar pick again. So if you're grinding solo, try Alice in the EXP lane, or even the mid lane. Most players go EXP, but in this game, I went mid, and it worked perfectly. Before we talk about the build, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your main hero. And tell me, did you try Alice after the rework? Alright, let's talk about the new Alice after her rework, and more importantly, about the specific build that turns her into an unkillable monster in both the EXP and mid lanes. Let's start with Rapid Boots. This is an underrated pick that gives Alice what she needs most early on: movement and map presence. After the rework, her new Blood Flow and Blood Orb system made her early game all about positioning, rotating, and collecting energy efficiently. Rapid Boots give you the mobility to roam faster between lanes, clear waves, and reach fights just in time to make a difference. The extra out-of-combat movement speed lets Alice glide across the map and maintain tempo, which is especially useful in solo rank where timing means everything. Whether you're rotating to help your jungler, catching side waves, or setting up for a team fight, those few seconds of faster travel time can completely change the outcome. You'll notice that Alice feels much smoother to play with these boots because she can get in and out of fights easily while managing her blood energy. Some players may prefer defensive boots, but with this build's tankiness, Rapid Boots give you that early flexibility to dominate rotations. Next, we move to Oracle, one of the most powerful synergy items for the new Alice. After her rework, Oracle became almost mandatory. Why? Because her sustain now scales directly with her healing and shield amplification, and that's exactly what Oracle enhances. The plus 25% healing and shield effects from this item multiply Alice's sustain during her skill rotations, especially when she activates her ultimate. It also gives cooldown reduction, letting her cast her abilities more frequently and maintain pressure throughout teamfights. With the rework focusing more on blood energy management and bursts of healing instead of infinite lifesteal, Oracle allows Alice to make the most out of each ultimate cast. It's not just about healing more, it's about surviving those key 5 seconds during her ultimate activation and coming out with half your HP restored while the enemy team scrambles to run away. Pair Oracle with her passive Blood Orb collection, and you'll notice that she becomes much harder to kill with every fight.
Each and every drop of your blood belongs.
Brute Force Breastplate, the perfect third item for Alice's mid-game dominance. Brute Force doesn't grant magic defense. Instead, it gives HP and physical defense, plus a stacking passive that boosts movement speed and defensive stats whenever you use abilities or basic attacks. For the reworked Alice, who constantly casts spells and fights, Brute Force's stacks come online naturally and make her both harder to kite and tougher to finish off. The extra mobility helps her stick to targets or disengage after a burst, while the stacking physical defense and HP patch up her survivability against marksmen and assassins. Paired with Rapid Boots, it makes Alice incredibly fluid in fights. Every spell cast increases her staying power and lets her reposition to collect blood energy and set up for the next ultimate. Now let's talk about Radiant Armor, and this is where the build really starts to shine. Radiant Armor gives a ton of HP, magic defense, and an amazing passive that reduces incoming magic damage over time. For Alice, this item is pure value. Since her rework, she spends most of her time diving into the middle of fights, absorbing poke, and waiting for the perfect moment to unleash her ultimate. Radiant Armor gives her the extra durability to survive through all that poke damage before she fully commits. It's especially strong against sustained magic damage dealers, like Valentina, Lunox, or Xavier. After activating her ultimate, Alice now releases one powerful burst that heals her significantly for every enemy hit. So staying alive long enough to reach that moment is everything. Radiant Armor makes sure she can endure the enemy's pressure, activate her ultimate safely, and heal a huge portion of her health before resetting for the next engagement. Combined with Oracle and Brute Force, Alice turns into a tanky force of nature that's extremely difficult to burst down. She dives in, drops her ultimate at the perfect timing, drains enemies with massive AoE damage, and recovers instantly before pulling back to wait for her cooldowns. Then comes Queen's Wings, which after its recent update fits Alice's kit better than ever. The item now grants HP, cooldown reduction, and an increased spell vamp of 10%. Its passive, Demonize, activates when your HP drops below 40%, reducing incoming damage by 30% for 3 seconds, and shortening your skill cooldowns by 2 seconds. On top of that, the new passive, Defiance, increases your damage slightly as your HP decreases, up to 15% more damage when you're low. All of that combined makes this item perfect for Alice. Here's why. As she dives into fights and naturally loses HP, Queen's Wings triggers at the exact moment she needs it. The damage reduction helps her survive focus fire, the cooldown reduction lets her cast again faster, and the spell vamp boost amplifies her healing from her ultimate and passive. It's basically a built-in comeback mechanism that matches Alice's risk-reward playstyle. When your HP gets low, instead of panicking, you actually become stronger, and that's what makes Queen's Wings so satisfying on Alice after her rework. Finally, we have Twilight Armor, the last piece of this unkillable build. Twilight Armor is the item that completes Alice's transformation from a durable fighter into an unstoppable late-game tank mage. Its passive limits the maximum damage she can take from a single hit, which is crucial against heroes like Saber, Brody, or Leslie, who rely on burst or crits. The additional HP and physical defense make her even more solid against marksmen and assassins. With this item, Alice can confidently jump into the enemy backline without worrying about getting one shot before her skills land. It gives her enough durability to survive the initial burst, trigger Queen's Wings, heal back with her ultimate, and completely flip the fight. The moment Twilight Armor absorbs that first big hit, it's your signal to fight back, because now you've got all your sustain and healing ready to go. Now, let's take a step back and look at how this entire build works together. You start with Rapid Boots to control the early map and rotate quickly. Then Oracle boosts your healing and shield effects, giving you the sustain you need to survive mid-game skirmishes. Brute Force Breastplate adds stacking defense and movement speed for fluid and tanky mobility. Radiant Armor gives you resilience against magic-heavy enemies and the ability to survive long enough to use your ultimate effectively. Queen's Wings acts as your safety net, giving you damage reduction, more lifesteal, and shorter cooldowns when you're low on HP. And finally, Twilight Armor protects you from sudden bursts of damage, ensuring that no assassin or marksman can delete you instantly. Together, this setup gives Alice everything she needs: mobility, sustain, defense, healing amplification, and anti-burst protection. It's a complete package that fits her reworked design. A tanky mage who thrives in extended battles rather than short duels. The more the fight drags on, the more dangerous she becomes. The new Alice doesn't rely on mana anymore. Instead, she manages her blood energy, a special resource that fuels her ultimate and skills. That means every second she spends dealing damage and collecting orbs builds up her potential to unleash devastating ultimates. This build enhances that system by keeping her alive longer, allowing you to stay active, gain more blood energy, and maximize her power in long team fights. What makes this build so strong in solo rank is how forgiving and reliable it is. Even if your teammates make mistakes or fall behind early, you can still carry through sheer endurance. You're not just another mage, you're the backbone of your team's front line and their late game insurance. Your role is simple but powerful: survive, sustain, and outlast. Every second you stay alive in a fight increases your team's chance to win. Alice might not be the same as before. She doesn't have infinite sustain anymore, and she needs better timing and control, but in exchange, she's more strategic, more explosive, and far more dominant when built correctly. So if you're a solo rank player looking for consistency and epic comebacks, this is the Alice build you need to try. Master your timing, watch your blood energy, and make those game-turning plays that leave everyone stunned. So, let's talk about the new, reworked Alice. The Blood Queen has evolved. After her massive rework, she's become a completely different kind of mage fighter. Gone are the days when she relied on mana and toggled her ultimate endlessly. Now Alice uses blood energy, and every second in battle feels more intense, more strategic, and more powerful. Her new gameplay is all about momentum. The more she fights, the more she grows, literally. She collects blood orbs from minions and heroes, increasing her max HP and fueling her blood energy bar. Once that bar fills, she becomes this unstoppable force of nature, ready to release devastating bursts of damage and sustain through anything. Let's start with skill 1, Flowing Blood, her signature move. Alice launches a swirling orb of blood that travels forward, damaging enemies it passes through. She can blink to it again, allowing her to dash across walls, dive into teamfights, or escape sticky situations with style. This skill defines her mobility and creativity. A great Alice player can use Flowing Blood to dance in and out of combat, confuse enemies, and pick the perfect angle for an engagement. Mastering this skill is the first step to mastering Alice herself. Next up is skill 2, Blood Awe. This one gives her real control in fights. When she activates it, Alice releases a burst of blood energy around her that slows and immobilizes enemies for a short time. It's not just a crowd control tool, it's a key part of her combo. You use it right after blinking in to trap enemies before they can escape, setting up your team for easy kills. It also builds your blood energy, so every time you cast it, you're getting one step closer to that massive power spike. Blood Awe is what turns Alice from a mobile mage into a close-range threat. And now, the heart of her rework, her ultimate, Blood Ode. This is where things get exciting. Instead of toggling her ultimate like before, Alice now stores blood energy as she fights. Once her bar is full, she can unleash a single, powerful explosion of blood that damages all enemies around her and heals her based on how many targets she hits. It's a one-time impact skill, so you have to choose the perfect moment to release it. The timing of this ultimate is everything. Wait too long, and you might waste your potential. Use it too early, and you won't get the full healing effect. But when you hit that sweet spot, when you're surrounded by enemies and your blood energy is maxed, it's pure magic. You explode in the middle of the fight, dealing huge AoE damage and instantly restoring a massive chunk of your health. That's the essence of the new Alice. High risk, high reward. And if you made it all the way here, you're a real supporter. Drop the word Alice in the comments so I know you watched the whole video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell me who your main hero is. See you in the next one.
My kid.